Howdy there, folks. It's me, Gene the Pink Panther, and I'm here with a little bit of an update slash introduction video. Let's get the update out of the way because, well, So, I recently had a hard drive failure, and I've lost so much footage of stuff that had been ongoing, hence why a lot of videos have suddenly been removed from my channel, such as the Legend of Dragoon videos. Yes, it's disappointing, but Legend of Dragoon is canceled, and it won't be brought back up until quite some time from now because I have to re-record the whole game and whatnot. There was no way for me to make it seamless, and it was going to take forever to re-record. But, anywho, enough of that. That's gone. Pokemon Emerald. Those files were lost as well. However, because it was being recorded off of an emulator, I can actually remake, if you will, the exact same thing via in-game Game Shark to pretty much copy the exact same situation and setup I was at. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I didn't even realize I had started Sonic 3, so I went ahead and took those down too, even though I have the footage, because I was not ready to start it yet, and I didn't realize I did, and for some reason I called Michael Jackson Michael Jordan. That actually happens to me a lot, you'd be surprised. But we're coming up on, I don't know, probably about a minute and a half of this now, so that's about it for the updates. That, and I've been extremely busy because my schedule is so packed full of stuff I have to do that I'm actually really limited on when I can do stuff. So I'm wanting to do something to get me back into this because I really love this hobby. I do not want to keep putting off getting into it, but when you lose so much of what you've been working on, it makes it really hard to get back into it. I'm also using a new audio recording program, and I have a nice new fancy headset, so hopefully it sounds good. If I decide I don't really care for how it sounds after this video, I'll go back to my old one, because I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. But anyway, so as I was saying, I'm wanting something simple to get back into the swing of things, and so I decided that I'm going to do a Pokemon Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Fire Red. Now, I'm making this introduction video to help explain, one, the rules I'm going to be following, as well as what a Nuzlocke is, because not everybody out there knows what a Nuzlocke playthrough is. It's actually surprising how many people don't know, and it's going to be interesting. I decided I'm going to do a Nuzlocke, though, because I figure this way, when I have time to record both the gameplay and I can talk at the same time, while I don't think I'm as good at live commentary as I am post, I can at least do it, and it'll be a lot faster. So anyway, let's go over the rules of the Nuzlocke that I'm going to be following. We'll start with the basic rules. So the most basic of Nuzlocke rules are as follows, as stated by Bulbapedia. I'm getting these off of Bulbapedia. But, number one, any Pokemon that faints is considered dead and must be released or put into the Pokemon storage system immediately. Or, I'm sorry, permanently. Well, immediately and permanently. Anyway, I'm going to be putting them into a separate dead box, so that way, at the end of the playthrough, we can see just how many fatalities we had. Number two, the player may only catch the first Pokemon encountered in each area, and none else. If the first Pokemon encountered faints, faints or flees, there are no second chances. If the first encounter in the area is a double battle in dark grass, the player may choose which of the two Pokemon they would like to catch. The last bit of that rule is not going to be in effect for Pokemon Fire Red, as I do not believe there are any wild double battles. While not exactly a definite rule, I'm on number 3. While not exactly a definite rule, the general consensus is that players must also nickname all of their Pokemon for the sake of forming stronger emotional bonds. I'd be doing this anyway. Honestly, that's something I really hate about my Pokemon Red playthrough, is that I didn't nickname any of the Pokemon. I don't know why I didn't. That was a while back, and it's something I regret. Let's see, what are we on? 4. Also not a definite rule, but general consensus is that a blackout/whiteout is considered to be game over even if there are Pokemon left in the PC. A lot of people kind of don't necessarily agree with this and decide that if they do lose all their Pokemon in a battle that they're allowed to bring out second stringers. Personally, because of the way that... Because I don't agree with that. If I lose all my Pokemon in one battle, I'm considering that to be game over, end of the Nuzlocke. At least one of my party members has to survive in order for me to keep going, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me. Number 5. Strong... Or is that 5? Yeah, it's 5. Strongly implied, though not explicitly mentioned in the comic... What? Is the stipulation that the player can only use Pokemon they have captured themselves, meaning traded Pokemon, mystery gifts, blah, blah, blah. Same. Okay, sorry. Basically, what this rule is saying is that I can't trade Pokemon with another game in order to get stronger Pokemon. That, and I think it's also talking about gift Pokemon. This is something I'll go into more once we get to the optional rules, but yeah. Basically, I'm not allowed to trade Pokemon with another version in order to get stronger Pokemon. Like, I'm not allowed to trade, let's say, a Caterpie for, I don't know, a Ponyta or some shit like that. Anyway, though, let's see. Moving on. Also strongly implied is prohibition against voluntarily resetting and loading the game when things go wrong. Well, duh, that would completely ruin the point of it. Yeah, basically, if something goes wrong, it goes wrong. I'm not gonna be resetting or anything just because something goes wrong. The only reason that would happen is if, I would reset, is in case something happened technically, like, on the technical side, and I didn't get that footage or something, in which case I would do my best to recreate or just fill you guys in. I'm not going to be lying in this. That would defeat the purpose of the playthrough. But anyway. Optional rules. There are quite a few of these, and I'm going to do a quick little read here. The first one has to do with starter Pokemon. Yeah, no. Species Dupes Clause. Adjusting the first encounter rule to prevent the player from having to catch multiple of the same Pokemon for the sake of variety. Generally, this means that the trainer can keep fighting Pokemon in the area until one is encountered that has not yet been caught, which then immediately counts as the first encounter. I'm not going to be following this rule, because I don't know. If I'm going to do a Nuzlocke where I'm forced to use Pokemon that I would not normally pick, I feel like this rule kind of counteracts that, so that's not going to be enforced. Not officially enforcing the rules until the player has Pokeballs and can catch Pokemon. For example, the Poochyena Zigzagoon battle that the player has to save Professor Birch from is not counted as the first encounter on the route. This is going to be enforced mostly because I think it's kind of shitty, because it's going to be Fire Red. I have to go all through a whole entire route twice before I get Pokeballs, and yeah, I don't think that's really fair. As another mercy rule, if the player runs into a shiny Pokemon, the player may still catch it, regardless of whether or not first encounter in the whether or not it's the first encounter of the area. Because I'm recording this for YouTube, I really couldn't give less of a shit if I get a shiny. I'm not gonna bother. If a shiny shows up and it's not the first one, same rule as always. I'll show it, but I ain't gonna bother with it. Here's one that I'm not sure and I'll have to think about. Modifying the first encounter only rule for the Safari Zone, sometimes allowing one encounter for each area or until they catch one Pokemon in the entire area and vice versa. I gotta think about this one. It's not gonna come up for quite a while. Hopefully we get to that point, but it won't come up for a while. So, yeah. And that almost covers all of the optional rules. Another one I'm going to bring up has to do with gift Pokemon. This one's not on here on the list that Bulbapedia has. At least if it is, then I missed it somehow. But this is only going to come up in pretty much two situations. One is in Cinnabar Island with the Pokemon fossil. And the other one is in Celadon City with Eevee. How I'm going to do this is that I will be allowed to get them, to get the gift Pokemon, but if I do get them, it counts as the first encounter for the city. So say I get the Eevee from Celadon City, and then later on down the road I decide that I want to fish in that little pond in front of a house to try and capture some kind of a water Pokemon. Well, I won't be allowed to do that because I already got the Eevee. You see, and that's how Cinnabar Island is going to work as well. This would be a I'd have a much different view on this rule if this was Pokemon Yellow, and I have actually considered doing a Nuzlocke of Yellow, and maybe we will in the future, I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to go over the rules of the Nuzlocke playthrough. This video is going to be uploaded right before the first part of the Nuzlocke. Some other things I guess I should talk about. I'm going to be showing everything that happens in video, on camera, everything. That means level grinding, every single trainer battle, all that. Again, this is going to be live commentary. I don't know how well I'll do at that, but I am going to be showing everything. However, when I'm doing level grinding on wild Pokemon, because it's going to happen, I know it will, but when I do that, I'm going to be recording it, but I'm going to speed it up in the video editor after everything's all said and done and let you guys just watch it then, because I don't really... I'm not going to have anything to say, and I don't think you want to listen to me babble. Also, expect a lot of tangents from me about random shit, because it's live commentary. My mind's going to wander. It never fails. It already has some in this video. But anyway, this is going to be fun. Hopefully, I can keep this going for a while until my schedule frees up. Anyway, stay tuned for part 1 of Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke Challenge. I'll see you guys there.
Now I've got to go. Life is way too short to take.